Have you ever wanted to explore a cave? Most people have. That's exactly what happens to John in the book Five Boys in a Cave, written by Richard Church. John finds a cave in the middle of a field and hurries back and tells all four of his best friends that he's met as he stays on holiday with his aunt and uncle. It's set in England during the 1950s, and the five boys quickly come up with a plan, and they're going to explore it in about a week. And they gather up all the necessary supplies, and they all decide to keep it a secret from their parents where exactly they're going. So, on the day of, John, the lead character of the book, decides to tell his uncle what's going on. He leaves him a note telling him where the cave is, how you can find it, and what they plan to do in the cave. He seals it in an envelope and tells his uncle not to open it until 7 o'clock if they're not back. So the five friends, John, the lead character, Lightning Soames, Meaty, one of the bulkier members of the group, Alan, who is the self-appointed leader of the group, and George. They get to the cave, and they go through some turns and everything, and you have to imagine, this is the 1950s. We don't have modern headlamps, modern helmets, anything. They're big, bulky flashlights, and George, he was kind of poor. He actually even brought a lantern. So they get into the cave, and they quickly find this huge chasm, and they brought a climbing rope, so they decide to lower two of the members down into it. Now the rope was 100 feet long, and so they lowered John into it first, and they paid out almost all the rope until he hit the bottom. Next, they brought up the rope, and they let Lightning down. And as they were bringing the rope up from Lightning, the rope fell down. So there's no possible way for them to get those guys back up from the hole. So Meaty, who dropped the rope, he started breaking down crying and everything. And George wanders off and finds another path down. So he takes charge, and he tells Alan and Meaty, hey, guys, we got to go this way so we can meet up with him down at the bottom. So they yell down in the hole, and the guys are so far down they can barely even hear them. And they say, hey, we're going to go down this hole, and we're going to try to find you. Keep going down that tunnel down at your end, and we'll try to meet up. So Alan, George, and Meaty head out to the left around a large structure of rock on a narrow passageway with a 40-foot drop-off or so on their left. And Lightning and John have to head out down a underground river, which is really cold, and I can tell you, you might can hear the running water back here. It's just not fun to get in water whenever it's 40 or 50 degrees, and the water's way colder. So, finally, George is about to the point where he can tell that Lightning and John are down at the bottom of the creek, and Meaty goes to climb up this rock and accidentally kicks Alan's flashlight out of his hand. This is a really nice flashlight, and Alan didn't ask his dad for permission to borrow it. Alan breaks down and throws Meaty's flashlight out into the chasm, and they're only left with George's really cheap old lantern, and no flashlights or anything. I know, kind of not a good thing. So Alan, who was the self-proclaimed leader of the group, actually changes into a kind of a melancholic, really depressed type of guy, and George has to take control of the situation, which is one of the main plots in the whole book, is the leadership struggle, and Alan being kind of a jerk to the rest of the guys. So John and Lightning are trapped down in this hole, and they find a place. They're chiseling away. They brought some hammers and chisels, and they finally busted through, and the guys are all reunited. Pretty awesome deal. Then they find another way out. They get out, and they go find John's uncle before he can come and find the cave. So if you're interested and you want to see what they found in the cave, they found some pretty neat stuff, then read Five Boys in a Cave by Richard Church.